I don't know what a good, like, desktop volume would be. So I'm just, is that how people sell keys for so cheap? Is from, like, Humble Bundle? Okay, I think, hold on. Okay, that's probably a good volume. What do you think of it, Chief? That is interesting. I don't want to pause too much, but that's not how I approach the boxes. I haven't watched. I mean, Sky's done some streams of this, but they usually post time saves if they find any. But this might have been so minor that they. So what I would do is like jump up here and then jump up from here. If you can see my cursor, yeah, you can see my cursor. Jumping up from here to here, but Sky's jumping from here to here, which seems to be faster. Yeah, because you can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's faster. And the reason why there's a cut there is because it's just a token frame equivalent. So, like, Sky got the token frame there, but then they fucked up the next part, so now they're just pausing to... Like now they're splicing it together, so... Yeah. There's even a manly count. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Jellyfish damage boost. So, normally, you're not on cycle for that in Unrestricted, but I guess I keep saying... In Restricted, you're not on cycle for that, but I guess in... Unrestricted, you are on cycle for that jellyfish. So that's cool. It looks like it saves, like, almost nothing, but yeah. Also, I highly doubt this is gonna be, like, perfect. Sky probably just got, like, segments that were, like, that didn't have, like, any obvious mistakes and just, like, continued it. I wish Sky had, splits, though, so we could actually, like, see, but... Yeah. But yeah, these token frames, like, really speed up the run quite a bit, but the actual Unrestricted is, like, really hard, because to put into perspective, I think the world record is slower than the Restricted world record. Like, Sky's jumps are pretty fat there, they probably didn't have to be that fat. Again, that's what I mean, like, you don't expect this to be, like, perfect. But, yeah. It seems like a pretty sexy cycle, though. Whoa, cartwheeling on the side over there? Again, I don't properly recognize the cycle because I normally, you know, loads and stuff, but... I mean, like, after that, you'd have Hans grab you, so the cycle would be different. I'm actually quite curious to what this cookie cutscene is like, because this is a faster cycle. Because you didn't have to have Hans... Oh, you're on a bad cycle because of Hans. That's interesting. But grabbing this token is actually fast rather than two-framing it, because where else are you gonna warp to, you know? All that time, like, opening up the menu and then, like, you know. Also, to make Patrick go as fast as possible, you want to jump on the very edge of platforms so that you can cartwheel for the maximum amount of duration. Throughout, like, as much of the platform as you possibly can. But, yeah. And then we could probably just skip forward like 5 seconds. The loads are incredibly, there was literally nothing there, so. There also I feel like there also should have been individual segment times, but, oh well. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, so I never understood this, but Sky always goes this way and then turns, whereas I go this way and then turn. I feel like this is just... I say obviously. I mean, the number of times we've been wrong over the years about something being obviously faster or obviously the best setup, and then somebody looks for 2 seconds to find something better, and then they find something better. But still, like... I feel like it's... Going this way would be faster. I don't know why they would go this way. Welcome back. Also, these levels are going to be pretty unaffected by token frames, so this is going to be basically the same as it is in, Restricted. Because you can reset, you can skip these token animations anyway, so this should be... I should actually be, that was like a perfect nitro use. So, if you have to go up a ramp, then generally, the best way of doing it is, like, using like 99.9% of a nitro, right? And then on that last little slither, you go up a ramp, like you're off the ramp. And then when it runs out, you'll still have some nitro speed. It'll like preserve some of the nitro speed, like when you're in midair, which makes it like we knew this for a while, but like to put into perspective how much time that can actually save, right? There's a ramp in Weenie that we used to nitro like very close to it, but then now we nitro optimally, so we get like all the nitro use, and then at the very end we go up the ramp, right? That shit saves a quarter of a second every time. It literally saves a quarter of a second. It saves so much time that the IL world record like very, very quickly got improved because it saves like 3/4 of a second. So literally just like yeah. That's like how much time you can save from just doing shit like. It's not always fast in nitro on ramps. Sometimes you need to preserve it for bigger stuff like off-road shit. But yeah. But yeah, this is looking extremely clean right now. I wanted to do a movie segmented run like ages ago, but I gave up because I kept making just these tiny mistakes that kept really bothering me. Like, I remember trying like a billion times to get a good SCDA guitar where I cut the corners really fast and then got like a perfect XD boost, and it was just so hard. But yeah, eventually then I just started like highlighting my golds because that was like, okay, that's, you know, I put so many hours into the game that those golds aren't just like, oh yeah, in a segment, like, offline I could match or beat these segments like easily, like no. Like those segments would be really hard to beat even offline with like no distractions. Even like, you know. Hold on. That does allow you to cut the corner like a tiny bit more, but generally you don't want the paddy wagon getting damaged because you lose frames when it gets damaged. I mean, that probably only lost Sky like a fucking like frame or two, but that still like loses time, you know? But now it seems like a very basic path to the end. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. For patty levels, I don't know if it's with all of the patty levels, but I know with at least a few of them, you can one frame, not two frame, but you can one frame N level patty tokens, and it's like really bad, because look how fucking fat this sandwich is, right? Like, hold on. This is the frame that you press start on. Like, you see why this category is so awful, right? You see why everybody plays restricted instead of unrestricted? Shit like this is why. If you miss this, that's just immediately, like, 5 minutes into the run. You're already, like, 6 seconds down the drain, and that's if you got all the other 2 frames. Which, like, you statistically probably miss, like, one of them anyway. So basically, you're just losing, like, 10 seconds off the gold already. And that's assuming you only fucked up the 2 frames and not anything else throughout the rest of the run. And with 5 minutes in, and you've already lost, like, 10 seconds off the golds. Like, it's just fucked, dude. It's absolutely fucked. But anyway. Now we're on to Sands. I think this token got routed out of Restricted recently. Like, not the last time I played it. It's you know, I haven't played in a while, but this token is still in Unrestricted because first of all, you can 2-frame. Which barely saves anything, but still. Second, again, because of damage boost, you skip a bunch of tokens, so now, like, the next fastest you have to, you know, resort to the next fastest tokens, and this token was only barely too slow and unrestricted. Third, it lets you set up VMS, and because these VMS tokens then are, like, a little faster, that by extension makes this faster. So, this originally was, like, barely in the run, but then I think Sky made it, like, even faster with finding, like, that bash thing on the wooden plank. Wow, that was optimal as fuck. Barely made that. So they used to be a cool strat here, but it actually got timed to be slow. We used to, like, get grabbed by Hans there, but then we found out, it just because it looked fast, but it turns out it was slow. It's because, like, at the time, like, our goals were unoptimal, so we were like, oh yeah, like... You know, so we were still golding, even with literally purposely doing a time loss. Well, we didn't know it was a time loss, but you know what I mean. But yeah. That was fast. See, again, like, it's not... I saw Sky, like, wiggle a very, very tiny amount. So it's not, again, it's not, like, literally, like, perfect. It's not like a TAS, but... A TAS would have been interesting, but then the loads would be slow as fuck, and then therefore some token frames wouldn't be viable, so it's just like, bruh. And then, because it's a TAS, you have to, like, you actually have to make everything perfect. Unless it's a low TAD, and if you're doing a low TAD, you might as well just do something like this, where you can actually use the fastest version, and just do a like an RTA low TAD, so it's more like, you know. So yeah, 56 is like the theoretical limit for this category, but it won't actually happen RTA for at least a really long time until a bunch of stuff gets found. Nobody even plays this category because it's so toxic, but it, like, theoretically, like, it is, like, the best category to play, like, theoretically, but it's the best category to watch if the person is not fucking anything up. But, like, I saw Sky do streams of this, like, do you have any idea, like, how often they would just, like, reset to the first, like, 3 splits? 4 even, yeah, especially the first like 4 splits, because this level was also reset heavy. It's just like so... That's the kind of category that we're dealing with here. Ooh, that's a really smart place to upgrade health. I've never thought to upgrade health there. That's a really smart place to do it. We upgrade health, by the way, because of Volcanic Valley. That was extremely optimal. See, again, you can see there, like, the token animation began, so Sky probably lost, like, a few frames, but again, it's like... You know... Yeah, Volcanic Valley is, cool. Dude, these nitro uses are incredibly optimal. People have asked me every now and then if, I'm gonna go back to Mashup, but, like, Sky's gonna put more time into the category than I am, so it's literally, like, I'm surprised that worked. So again, it's like... Then it's like, why bother? And especially because it's like these extra, more stuff has been found, and I just don't know if I can be bothered to learn those things. And it's like, I don't know, I don't know what I want to do. Like, Sky even knows, like, these really optimal nitro points, whereas I'm still playing a guessing game. They know, like, the best lines to take for certain tokens, and I know for some of them, some lines just, you know, but not all of them. Normally I go right there, but they went left. That's interesting. How much progress have you made with your mod? With the mod? I don't know how I feel about that nitro. I don't think that's fast, because... It might look fast because it's like, oh, well, when you turn, you lose speed, so if you nitro to get yourself up to top speed, then you're just negating some slow speed, and then it saves time. But that turn was kind of harsh. On harsh turns, you generally don't want to nitro, because it does actually cut your speed. Like, we haven't done, like, a super in-depth look at it, but from, like, a basic, like, comparison I did before, on, like, the Sunday spiral, you know, spiral skip, like, imagine that spiral. Like, I did a comparison between nitroing there and not nitroing there, and not nitroing on the turn was faster because you can then just nitro on like nitroing after a turn makes sense. I feel like nitroing here is not fast. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's not fast. Really that early in? Yeah, you should definitely finish it then. Okay, I think me and Sky still have a disagreement on this because I don't see how the left path is faster than the right path, and I saw them go in the left path before, and I just ignored it and just started going the right path, and it appears that they still go the left path, so I don't know if they've timed it, but, like, I just can't possibly see the left path being faster, because look now, right? They're, like, pretty similar length. The one on the right is technically slightly longer, but, like, you get a nitro, so that's already just, you know. But look. And then there's another nitro, and there's a ramp, and there's small ramps, but they do cut your speed a little bit. That was 3 nitros. I just can't possibly imagine the left path being faster. Yeah, you get a slightly better liner first, and the slide is like a tiny bit shorter, but like, the bumps surely make up for that, and that's not even factoring the nitros. I feel like the right path, in my opinion, unless Sky's timed it, I feel like the right path just has to be faster. I feel like it's just gotta be. I will say, see, look. See, because if you grab those nitros from the right path, you wouldn't have to grab this nitro and lose frames from grabbing it. You know what I mean? But anyway, now we're on the Jelly Factory. Hello, Dodzy. Thank you for the good luck. Very nice, Death. Sometimes when I do a timing and the numbers are just not adding up, I just have, like, a panic attack. I'm just like, how the fuck did I fuck this up? Ooh, that was optimal. I like that. What the fuck? What was that for? What was that for? Was Sky grabbing the warp for the task? I think they're grabbing the warp for the task. I never ran Unrestricted myself, so I don't know what the task is on this, but maybe that's what they're doing. Additionally... okay, I don't think you can one-frame off of that because you've already jumped. I think the way that it works is that if you jump into something and get damage boost out of it, you can't, like, one-frame double jump out of it. You could do, like, a one-frame bash, but we're not SpongeBob, and even then we just bash boost, so yeah. So, I thought, like, that whole entire thing was unoptimal, but I think it was actually, like, optimal. Crying. I don't know why the lighting is just fucked. I mean, it usually gets better like later in the stream, but at the beginning of the stream it was like kind of, I don't know. Eventually I might buy those like ring lights. Oh yeah, I forgot to. I used to do this, but I dropped it because I just didn't. That jump, getting the right angle and jumping, and then getting enough speed was really annoying. But it does save, like, if you do it optimally, it saves, like, 2 to 3 seconds, I think. But watch this now. This is banned and restricted, but watch this. That shit is, like, genuinely so awful. Like, I don't even know where to begin, like, describing how bad this actually is, but, like... You have to purposely let it hit you, and then you have to, like, get it angled correctly. So that's why it's facing, obviously facing it towards Patrick. And then you spin it twice, right? And then you get it around the edge. And then you wait a little bit, and then you cartwheel. Like, you get damage boosted by it, but you cartwheel, like, off the very edge. And I think it's something to do with, like, abusing coyote frames or some shit. So, like, I think the way that it works is that if you cartwheel on the very edge after getting damage boosted, you retain the speed. And that was, like, a lot of speed. This is a really good amount of speed. So, honestly, you're just happy if you can even make this at all, but Sky didn't even get I mean, obviously, for a segmented run, they're not going to accept the ledge grab, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a really, really fucked up Pat's Hammer that's, like stupid as fuck. It's really bad. It's, like... Because this RNG... The spinner is, like, RNG... I don't know exactly where the RNG... but, like... As what... Because I've never tried it myself. But what Sky has described... There's, like, some RNG with, like, angling it. It was banned because it's, like, the worst thing ever. If you want to do it, then you just do it in unrestricted. You know, like, the thing is, right, is that because this is a, hack, it's not an official game, therefore its existence is arbitrary. Therefore, what we do, what rules we allow, what we allow and don't allow, it technically doesn't matter. You still want some sense to it, but restricted is literally just like, okay, if you want to actually, like, enjoy running this game, then you run this. If you want if you want to be able to do absolutely everything, like have no restrictions, do whatever you want other than cheats, then you play this. And there's a reason, by the way, why there's like no fucking runs almost for unrestricted. This is like the big reason why. There are other reasons, but this is like the fucking reason, the defining reason. This shit saves like a minute, by the way. So, like, yeah, you can get it, like, second try and still save time, but what happens when you get, like, a decent run with this first try, and there's RNG to it, too, and you're, like, 12, 13 minutes in the run, and then you just have to reset because you got bad RNG, or your setup was this far off from being perfect, so it doesn't fucking work. That's why we fucking banned it from restricted, basically. Hello, Latte, what's up? You can do it without the first hit, really? I don't think Sky knew that, or if they... I don't know. Oh my god, this is unoptimal. I don't know why they... Would have wanted to cartwheel into that, surely. Oh well. Anyway, so what this does is skip 2 tokens. So now Sky needs to find 2 tokens elsewhere, so I don't know where those 2 tokens are, but I'll know when I see them, I guess. Because I, like, roughly know the route for unrestricted. Oh, you do this later? Oh, so it's so you can... Actually, yeah, wait, yeah, you do that later? I guess it's because of the 2-frame. So normally we just grab that immediately, but... Yeah. The problem with all-wheel tokens, Latte, is that you grab the majority of the tokens in platforming levels anyway. So it's like... Hello again, iPie. Do 23 tokens, 13 minutes in. Anyway, Skull Stadium. This is probably going to be identical to how I know it. Probably just really fast. I think after this got uploaded, Sky said they got a 56 Skull Stadium in a run. My gold is like a fucking, like, high or mid 57, so it's like... My gold just... Wow, that's a really early bash. Yeah, the mod is, like, so fast-paced. 75 tokens. Well, I think Krista gives you a token. Yeah, so 76 tokens in... Even in restricted, in an hour and 2 minutes optimally. That's crazy. I haven't played Jak 3. I should probably play the games. I need to get into more games now that I'm not speedrunning anymore. I did bring my Switch on vacation, but, like, we would come home at, like, 7, and then we'd, like, go out for a walk at, like, 7:30, and then we get back at, like, 8:30 or some shit, and then we go to the pub at, like, 8:50, and then it'd be, like, 10:30, And then after showering and brushing my teeth and everything, it'd be like 11 something, and then I couldn't be fucking asked, and I go to sleep like 1 or 2, and then I couldn't be asked to play on my Switch. I just play Pokemon Showdown, bro. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, pull storage is like... I don't remember if it's possible on Xbox, but at the very least it's possible on GameCube. We literally just banned pull storage, like, and I don't think you can do it in, like, any category, from what I can recall. Because, like, if I recall correctly, I don't think, like, literally anybody wanted to do it. I wasn't, like, super full banning it, but at the same time, it was, like, no one's gonna play this, like, it just makes the boards look ugly. And even if I said no, there would have been a 2-over-1 majority over me anyways, it's literally, like... Like, I feel like of us 3 mods, I was probably the one who wanted to remove pull storage the least, and I still kind of wanted to remove it low-key. I mean, well, I say want, bit of a strong word, but, like... It was just like, yeah, like, who fucking cares, you know what I mean? Like, why make the boards ugly for something that no one's ever gonna do in their runs? Yeah, exactly. It was clogging the boards and just making everything confusing. You have unrestricted, except it was no pull storage. Like, well, how is it... Why is, like, everything allowed except for, like, this one thing? You know, just, like, really... Like, it just made everything look really stupid and ugly. Pull storage is so stupid. Like, just... I can't believe it's... I mean, I know a lot of games have pulls... Oh my god, dude. Did you guys know the fucking Sunshine has arbitrary code execution? Because, like, I genuinely didn't know until, like, recently, right? I was watching somebody set up Ace, and, like, I didn't even understand what was happening. Yeah, we've had pull storage since 2020. Dude. But yeah, for the Sunshine Ace thing, I didn't even know what was going on. I know there was, like, something about, like, spawning a blue coin, right? But afterwards, like... There was, like, you know, like, the box room? Like, you have to, like, smash boxes. There's, like, a time challenge, I think. The guy was just, like, ledge-grabbing the boxes, and then, like, turning the camera... and then, like, pausing at very specific times, and then he was like, yes, I got the setup, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I genuinely don't even know what you're doing. I don't even know what's going on. He just, he just pauses. He turns the camera, pauses, he's like, yeah, I did it. It's like, what did you do? I don't even know. I don't even know what you did. I genuinely had no idea what was going on. Like... I don't know what you mean by that, Trooper, but, like, I probably tried to patch out pull storage, but it exists in another form in this game. But anyway, yeah, I really do not understand how the Sunshine Ace stuff works. Like, there's probably a video explaining it, but just when I try to watch that run, I literally had, like, no idea what was going on. You just pause at the right times, and then shit happens, like, I don't even know. And, dude, the guy, like... I forget what time he had. I think it was like a 33 or a 30 or something. But at one point, he was like minus 3 minutes. The run died. But that means that you can... That means you can get at least like a 26. Like, I want to see a TAS of that. Like, how low can it actually go, bro? Because in theory, if you have to take, like... If the task can just perfectly pause at the exact times, then you could literally, like... It can be so fast. I think the guy's, the time on the guy's splits was like 30-something minutes, but... I don't know, like, what the... I don't know if that was just, like, some fucked splits or what. But I think it said 30-something. Hold on, let me, like... Hold on, does Sunshine even, like, allow Ace, on the boards? Let's find out. I don't think they allow Ace. I don't see it on the boards. Oh, well, because it's, like... possible. Like, it's the fastest way to beat the game without cheats. The other thing as well is that, TLDR, Xbox pause storage and GameCube pause storage are different. Xbox pause storage is banned in anything outside of any percent because it's only barely fucking possible to do, like, without having a modded Xbox. It's, like, so stupid to set up, but it's theoretically possible to set it up without modding your Xbox. So we only allow it for any percent. So it's not hurting any other category, it's in its own little corner, right? Well, what about GameCube pause storage? Well, even with pause storage, like, every other category is still faster on Xbox because the loads on GameCube was just so fucking slow. So there you go. So it's basically, it doesn't harm any category, so we don't have to actually, like, worry about it. So there's no reason to remove it. Because it doesn't have any negative effects, essentially. It has no negative effects, it literally just sits in the corner. So there's just no reason to remove it. The only way it would start harming other categories is if we could somehow find a way to make it much faster. Or if the setup on Xbox became, like, actually realistic, like, very easy. There is actually, like, a memory corruption thing on GameCube that would make the Xbox setup, like, incredibly easy to do. But it just doesn't work on Xbox for some reason, so can't do that. But yeah, if it's ever, like, really easy on Xbox, then I think we can have a talk about potentially just, like... Because it is just, like, AIDS, but, like... It's not currently doing any harm, so... Why remove an option from people, like, who want to do any percent, you know? Anyway, Krusty Casino is just, like, a lot of, like, platform cycles and shit like that, although I assume there's, like, less of them in this because of the token frames. Hello, Pyrus. This has existed since, February 29th this year, I believe. But yeah, this is a 100 token mod. 100 tokens, I think it's, like, 54 extras or some shit. And this is this is a segmented run. It's just, like, no pause storage. So, other than that, you can go as fast as you want, and, my god, is this pretty fast. Movie mods have existed for a while, but this is, like, by a country mile the biggest one. I think the second biggest one is, Unfair Movie. No, not Unfair Movie. What's it called? Oh, Careful SpongeBob. That's what it's called. The Kaizo mod. That has, like, a mini-hub and, like, a bunch of challenges. That's, like, the second biggest mod and is nowhere near as big as this. It's not even, like, half the length. Or, like, half the size. Especially not half the size. The long playtime in that mod is mostly just from, like, the difficulty of the actual levels. But if you did everything first try, it'd actually not be that long of a mod. It'd be long compared to some other movie mods, but, like, compared to this, it'd be very short. Yeah, technically Floating Block Forever is the second biggest movie mod because it has the second highest token count. But, like, Careful SpongeBob is definitely gonna be, like, longer playtime, so... Anyway, Mystic Mountain, now we finally got Ball. 19 minutes into the run. Vanilla movie could never, bruv. I don't even think it's 30. I think it's, like, 20. I think my playthrough was, like, in the hackathon was, like, 20. And I died a few times as well, so you could get it down to, like, 15 or something. But yeah, like... Yeah, Careful SpongeBob is definitely longer. Not just, like, casually, but even if you did runs of both, like, it's probably still longer than Floating Block Forever. Now, there is a collab mod in the works that's gonna be about 30 tokens, and it's nearing completion. That is probably going to be, well, that's going to be the second biggest mod when that officially comes out, but it's not out yet, so it's not the second biggest mod until it's done. and released. There's not even like a demo or anything you can play right now, so... Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This saves like half a second. But it's like risky, so it's like bleh. Yeah. Yeah. I reckon so too. Anyway, there hasn't been much to say so far. Like, at the beginning of this level is like very linear, so... It gets more interesting, like, in a minute. If you're curious about other categories, by the way, like, Hundo definitely has some interesting stuff, but... The pacing's kind of fucked. I think, the best category to play... The best one to watch is technically this one, but... The best category to play is definitely Restricted, 80%. The pacing is, like, pretty good. And it's like pretty easy to get into, minus like a couple little things. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think my time was like a 144 or something, but it was like really bad. Like really, really, really bad. And it was when I was worse at the game. So if you grinded the category for a while, it would not shock me if sub 130 was like possible. After some grinding. Anyway, here's the bash boost. It's fairly easy, but you can also... It's a little easy to choke. I think Sky hesitated with the movement a tiny bit there, but... It's okay, I forgive him. Have you noticed, by the way, that they have, like, no manlies? They don't even have enough for a second upgrade. They have, like, no manlies. They have, 13, 38 manlies. Well, not literally right now, but... Like, after the segment, they'll have more, but... Yeah. Yeah, you don't upgrade guitar or anything. That's another way the okay, I'll get to this in a second. So the other way that this category separates itself is that, well, Restricted has been getting some developments too. I think Sky said that upgrading guitar and Restricted might not be worth it. But as of right now, what I upgrade health twice, and I also upgrade guitar. I think that might be it, but I think in this, yeah, just... I assume you just upgrade Patrick's health twice, and that's probably the end of it. So the manly... You don't even have to really, like, think about manlies, but anyway, now we gotta get to this. This has been known for a while. I think we banned it in Restricted, because it's, like, it has RNG, so it's terrible. But it saves, like, 15 seconds or some shit. Like, so... You know those, those rerouting tokens I talked about, you know, because of XD boost? Again, skip 2 tokens. I guess this is one of the replacements, a token that's already fast anyway. But, yeah, so what you do... You manip this Papa. And then he shoots over here, and then you just bash boost. It's much worse than it looks. Much worse. That's an unoptimal camera angle. Oh. Wait, what? Okay, oh, I don't think you can 2-frame that token because... Okay, it might not save as much time in Unrestricted then, but I think you can't 2-frame that token because it hasn't been, like... The task hasn't been unlocked yet, so I don't think you can 2-frame that, but I guess this is, like, the backup afterwards. Yeah. Also, the slides in movie are kind of fucked, like, when you're not in the tub. You have to, like, let go of the stick before, landing on the ground. Or else you'll lose, like, most of your speed. Anyway, that's a cool trick. It's pretty easy. There's, like, a couple backups if you fuck it up anyways. It's not even that bad. Like, it's... Even for your first runs, you probably want to be doing it. Yeah, it's really weird. you have any idea if Mashup 2 is gonna have sliding levels? I feel like there's a lot of cool stuff that can be done with the sliding levels. Like, Wilcon's speedy sliding comes to mind. That's like one of the few sliding hacks in the game. No sliding levels, Sag, but understandable. No sliding, no driving. Interesting. That was slow. RTA, we do this, but... Actually, no, there's no reason to do this, actually. Because you don't have guitar, so Skymus probably did the unlockable moves cheat, but yeah. Optimally, you wouldn't do this because you get springy legs. Optimally, you would just, as soon as you see the text box, you just press R and B. But yeah, springy legs. Sky hardly lost anything from that, but still lost a tiny bit. This level's a fucking pain in the ass. Why does Sky forget to yeah, Sky forgot to update the manliness point count. Bad Sky, I hate Sky. You can fucking do that, since when could you do that? Bro, I always went right and then left. I didn't know you could literally just drive forward, what the fuck. That was incredibly optimal as well. Yeah, I remember you guys talking about that. You can fucking do that? When did Sky find this stuff, dude? Sky's probably already saving, like, a second over my gold. Maybe, I don't know about a second. Maybe a second, I don't know. Either way, it's saving some time over me for sure, over my gold. When I was starting out with Movie Mashup, I was able to beat most of Sky's golds, like, fairly quickly, but then I got kind of going this way. Oh, yeah, I approached this a different way, but it, like, breaks even with, like, the way the Sky just did it, so it's, like, fine. I was about to say, like, don't tell me you can go across that gap, too. I was about to lose my mind. There's no way. Dude, when did Sky find this shit? I don't remember. Like, this was not known when I was playing, bro. Bruh. Wow, that is aggressive. You generally want to slow down here a bit. Well, Sky is technically... that was a little unoptimal, I feel like, but... I can't really blame Sky for just accepting that. I wonder where Sky got this, timer from, by the way, because... It might just be I think Sky uses Vegas, but... In Premiere, like, I don't think you can... I think a timer... I think it's milliseconds is always frames, so it's like... I don't know if Sky, like, downloaded, like, a custom timer, or, like, downloaded... Or, like, recorded live split or something. Like, I really have no idea, but... is that Nitro fast? That was slow. Yeah, yeah, that was unoptimal. Again, like I said, you can't expect, like, literally perfection. It's just, like, an RTA demonstration, but... I don't even know if grabbing that Nitro is optimal in the first place, but even if it is, that use was poor. And then, Sky could have upgraded a little faster. And then, Sky didn't get, like, full Nitro use out of that before doing the one frame, so that was definitely, like, a tiny bit unoptimal. Don't know how much they would have lost from that compared to doing it perfectly, but yeah, some time was lost for sure. Anyway, I do know a lot of this level was done with box state originally, but now only part of it is. Because it was found out that the beginning is, like, actually, like, fast to do without box state. I fucking forgot about this shit. This was found after I stopped running the game, but you don't actually want to do it because it's AIDS as fuck. But... Normally, you would just cartwheel across. Like, cartwheel jump across. I will say that you can make it with 4 health, so I was a little surprised the Sky upgraded 5 health. But I was just kind of, like, sitting on it. I think it's because, like, it saves more time to do it like this. It, like, negates the upgrading time, I would imagine. Oh, and then that lets you... Okay, that was... Theoretically, if you want to do this as fast as possible, by the way, you would, like, cartwheel into the tokens, so Sky did lose, like, frames, but... Yeah.
Gooch. Whoa.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Okay, they might have also upgraded health for this part too, because 2 health sounds pretty nice right about now.
Whoa.
Yeah, because then they save time. Yeah. Okay, so I think upgrading health, even without the damage boost, might just be worth it in the first place. By the way, we're like halfway through the run. If you want an indication of how fast this shit is, we're like roughly halfway through the run.
Ooh. Whoa.
But yeah, so again, originally they were doing this with box state, but now they do it after this, I think.
Ouch.
And then use a token animation skip. I did kind of figure out a good method of doing it. Like, this originally was kind of hard, but I figured out, like, a pretty decent way of doing it, but I don't remember if I ever posted it in the server. But you want 1 health here, and then you want to, like, walk into the damage, and then you die on top of the token. So this is why Sky, yeah, so it's faster, yeah, so, Sky, basically, Sky's setting up box states, so in case you don't know, if you go in a box, the game restricts most of your moves, but not all of them, for some reason, so you can pause, and then the game still thinks you're in the box. You need to have the other side of the box, like, not open, by the way. But yeah, as you can see now, again, most of your moves are completely restricted now. You can slam and throw, I think. I think you can slam. At the very least, you can throw. And you can spin, I think, maybe. But you can't cartwheel. Oh, well, how could that possibly save time over what you do in Unrestricted? How could that possibly save time? I'll show you. Yeah. So we're gonna, like, fast forward a little bit. Also, one of the moves that you get is Slam. So normally we don't grab this token in Unrestricted. In Restricted, but I assume in Unrestricted it's, like, fast because of box state. Or this might just be one of the tokens you have to collect because of XD boost. So this might be the second replacement for the XD boost. Slam, throw, guitar, and that's it. Yeah. It sucks too because if you had unrestricted access to all of your moves, right? And then the enemies actually try to hit you, dude, the combat arenas in vanilla would be so fast. They'd be so fast. Anyway, that's why you do this token later. We do it in restricted. We just do it immediately because we don't do box state because it's banned, but again, like, you preferably you cartwheel into the tokens, but it does add up to time loss, but again, this is just a demonstration. I mean, look, right? 56, 53, so even if, like, I mean, yeah, like, with a tiny bit more optimization, I'm sure Sky could have gotten a 49, like a 4x, but the next minimum barrier, like, just from these couple, like, tiny time saves. I forgot about this. Right, so there's a little bug in this game that got found recently. A little oopsie whoopsie. You just, when you enter the volcano area, you just have access to Acid Deadyard. So you can skip a token, and that token was slow as fuck. I don't know if the token's slow in Restricted, but in Unrestricted, it is slow. So, well, it's bound to be slow then for Restricted. So there's probably a reroute in Restricted. I don't know. Anyway, point being, the count 2 trigger, yeah. So yeah, we just skip the, because that token, it wasn't that slow, but it was like a little slow because it's like a long cutscene at the end and everything, so yeah. Now we are in Acid. More than halfway through the run. Yeah, you should have nitroed a tiny bit later. See, that's the crazy thing, right? It's always easy to think like, oh, this is the limit, this is the limit. Like... Hold on. What's my PB in Unrestricted? 106.11. When I got that time, I believe it was just generally agreed and known that 105 was like the last currently available minute barrier. I think my sum of best is like high 104, and now 102 is known to be possible only a couple months later. Literally like 10 weeks later, like. So yeah, it's just gonna keep getting pushed more and more and more. 101 is gonna be possible, 1 flat's gonna be possible, 59 is gonna be possible, and achieved. Don't know how long it's gonna take, but stuff like that, like in Volcanic. Maybe not stuff as extreme as that, but again, it just goes to show there's always something to find in a speed game. Even if it feels like everything's been figured out, even if the game's like, oh, dead or whatever, like... Movie's currently, like, dead, kind of, but, like... It's obvious stuff's gonna get found again eventually, it's not like, you know... Yeah, we're bound to find more, like, shit, you know? And not just for vanilla movie, this as well, we're just bound to find more shit. Same thing will happen with the collab mod. A minute barrier will be achieved in the collab mod. We think it's like the final minute barrier for like a while. That was like a slight bonk. I feel like that lost frames, but it's hard to tell for sure. So I'll give Sky a pass on that one, because I don't definitely know. Also, yeah, apparently it's faster to do the right token and then the left token. I was always doing left and then right, but apparently right and then left is faster. Or at least that's what Sky does, anyway. Anyway, now we get the sick move. I've always liked this. Apparently you can just skip that, okay. It's hard to do this, like, optimally, like, when you get to the movement buttons. And then these two, it's crucial to do this, yeah. Look how optimally Sky did it. Like, that was pretty good. Is it really faster to go right and then left? I always just hug left. It's like a little more awkward, but you don't have to take a really wide turn. I guess I could see that being faster. Yeah, that's why I asked Latte for a practice mod, though. And there you go. Token frame. Shadow is a big fucking pain in the... It was like the hardest level for me to learn. Like this and Thunder. Actually, no, this and Deep Dark were like the hardest to learn. So what we're doing is abusing... This is out of bounds sand, which movie actually never uses, but it does fully function. If you let go of the stick before landing and then use cartwheel, you can just cartwheel over the out of bounds sand because movie doesn't use it, it's not programmed properly, so it's like a little buggy. So you can just cartwheel over, and it allows us to cross these like huge fucking gaps. Otherwise, this level would be like significantly longer if we couldn't do this shit. It works slightly differently. That's surprising considering they didn't use it. In that case, they probably were going to originally use it and they just didn't for some reason. I can see, like, they're probably gonna have more open areas like in No Cheese or, like, you know, not, like, yeah. But then they just, maybe they just couldn't be bothered to apply out-of-bounds sand everywhere, so they were just like, oh yeah, let's just fucking... Which is so weird, because for some reason they felt the need for Hans to be enabled per load, so I don't know what the fuck they were thinking there, but... Oh, two-framing that is fast? I guess that makes sense. What cycle does this put you on? Oh, it puts you on a good cycle, so I mean, there's that. Some of it is taken from other stuff, some of it is original. I feel like that was an unoptimal hit, but it's hard to tell. I like this track because I like the power goes. Da, 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 da. Isn't the Depression music also like original and not made by Seth? This key cycle thing is pretty fast. I think it's a cycle faster than what I normally do. Do you have any idea who made that? Anyway, here's a token. I think this token's actually fast in Unrestricted. I keep saying in Restricted, but I think it's like barely fast. So it's bound to be in Unrestricted. When we skip a few tokens compared to normal, like, yeah. So I don't fully understand how this works, but you can just, like... I think I think rings are, like, really generous in this game. So I think what Sky's doing is essentially waiting for the ring to fizzle out so that it kills you. But then when you do, like, it's so lenient that you can just jump on top of this token, which also counts as a token animation skip. 24 seconds and adds 2 socks. Damn, that's bussin'. Well, yeah, I have no idea what socks you guys grab, but that sounds very excelente. 24 seconds is a fuck ton. Isn't that, like, even more than how much the actual UCB saves in vanilla? I say vanilla, I meant, like, 90%. Mazzarino? I don't know who that is, to be honest. Alright, so here's a funny thing, right? For some reason, we never tried this. We kept going on the trampoline, like, it was not known that you could literally just... Well, we knew we could do it, I think, we just thought it was slow. So, like, yeah, and then I think Dulcie tried it and it saved time, and then we were like, oh. Nice. Do you know what socks are gonna be replaced then? Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah. So this token skip doesn't actually save as much as the other ones, because normally you make Hans grab you. So that probably actually saves like 3 seconds or something compared to the usual like 6. You don't know? Okay, well, because it's warpless, there probably are a couple like awkward socks that are like a bit slow at the skip. Or if there's just like a sock that's just like really fucking like hard for some reason, you probably just not grab it out. But yeah. Anyway, that was a pretty damn fast Shadow Shores, I think. And now we're on to Mental Metro. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, these trampolines can be really aids. Like, there's like some RNG with like whether or not you can actually jump out of them. It's kind of stupid. Like, you can lose a lot of time from just like getting fucked on the trampolines. The trampolines are buggy in this game. Yeah, there's actually quite a decent bit of sliding in this. Again, getting good RNG with the boosts. Sky probably did not do this entire segment in one try. Let's just put it like that. Anyway, the reason why Sky does that is so, get a more favorable cycle on these platforms. I never did it, but it is fast. And then I also never did that either, but that's also a little fast. Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, I didn't do that either. Okay, wow, that token frame is, like, generous if that's actually, like... Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, it's not a lot of sliding in this game. And the sliding that does exist is, like, the jank movie sliding, and not, like, the tub. Like a mouse. Anyway, yeah, there's not much to say here, because it's, like, fairly, like, linear. I think these ones work as intended, right? Like, as in, like, they're not like the other ones where, like, you lose your speed when you drop onto them. I think it's because it's not sloped. Yeah, okay, very basic there. And then you just get guitar, and then you guitar, and then like a boss. I don't think you have to guitar him. I think Sky probably should, you know, for the sake of a segmented run, should have not guitar that guy. Like, he'll usually get in your way, but, like, not always, so I feel like it's... Yeah. Elevation, yeah. Makes sense. Anyway, watch this now. This got found, like, fairly recently. If you stand at the exact right spot, that you won't sink before the token spawns. Like, it's hard to describe, but, like, if you stand, like, in between these two platforms, then it works out good. And then you just pick up the token. Okay, and here's another thing, right? And I actually want to go into more detail about this. So, like, we used to do a guitar glide here. Like, we would go to the end here on the left side and do a guitar glide. It's faster to jump across here, but the thing is that I already knew about the jumping on the edge thing, and I thought Sky did too. But they sounded confused, like, they found this, and then I was like, oh, I already found this. But I thought it was slow, and they were like, bruh, but I was like, I could have sworn that the way that I found out it existed... Like, didn't this exist, and then the guitar glide get found, and then... But, like, I swear, But Sky, from what I recall, I think Sky was confused about this. And I was like, yeah, I do this whenever I miss the guitar glide. And they were like, I didn't know it existed. And I'm like, I swear to God, you were the one who found it. Like, I genuinely... The way that I remember it is the Sky found it, and then they found the guitar glide. And then nobody timed it. Like, but from what Sky's saying, I randomly found it, like, and did it as a backup. And then Sky didn't know of its existence until recently, where they then found it. Anyway, point being, The guitar glide here was really AIDS because you had, like, very little leniency. The ledge grab spot here is fucking enormous, so you have to dip a bit, but you can't dip too much or else you won't have enough height. And the spitter could easily hit you if you take too long. If you fucking fumble, like, at all, then the spitter will hit you and is really annoying. So, this is basically just, like, pretty much objectively easier than the guitar glide, and it saves time. So that practice mod that I had Latte make me is kind of, for this area, is kind of pointless now. Hello, Arkham. It was enjoyable. It wasn't, like, peak or anything, but, yeah, it's, like... I wish they would actually, make Simpsons games now and not, like, Tapped Out and shit, because... we could have more games like the Simpsons game. If we could get more games like Simpsons game, then that would be... That'd be really nice. But unfortunately we can't, so I think you have to give respect to Simpsons game for just being, like... like an actual fucking video game that's, like, actually got, like, quality to it. Why does Sky spin that? Spinning loses frames. Are they planning to upgrade again? There were probably better points to upgrade. Like on trampolines or something, they're probably better spots to upgrade, I feel like. They probably just upgraded it for convenience sake. What the f-
Ouch! Ouch!
That's faster?
Whoa! Ouch!
What the fuck was any of that? It's probably even faster with, like, 1 frames. That was... I bet that wasn't even, like, that fast. It's kind of funny. So yeah, but yeah, you upgrade to 6 health, which is interesting. I think I know exactly what it's for as well. I'm currently learning Fractured Butthole 80% right now, and I literally just spent 2 hours trying to figure out why I wasn't doing proper damage, but I was down XP, aka an artifact, so my build was off, I see. Running those games seems really, like, annoying, I guess, if that makes sense. I've had some interest, but I was just like, I'm probably not gonna enjoy it. Then again, being able to beat Fractured in less than, like, 5 billion hours, like it takes casually, it would be nice. Okay, so this is known, and I did this the last couple times I streamed the game. This saves, like, over a second or something, but obviously it's, like, it might be 2 seconds, but yeah, it's, like, a little hard. And then, so this is, like, a bit buggy as well. If you time this correctly, for, I guess, like, I don't even know what happens, but, like, you get launched, like, twice instead of once, and then you just skip that whole part. Anyways, Sky got a warp, so now they're gonna be setting up a VMS in a sec. That is hard. If you've ever seen me do this, you know that I always wait for this. Because it only loses, like, a couple seconds to wait. But, like... fucking hell, they're coming in now. But yeah, like, I wait. But also, you generally start spinning early. You'll, like, pseudo softlock if you touch the token in guitar state, but you also can't see. So as you can see, Sky didn't do it, like, absolutely perfectly, but that was still pretty fucking fast. Wait, yeah, like, that's, like, the second one, so it's, like, waved. Oh, this is in the run. Okay, okay, I'm happy, okay. So this was not, even in this category, it was not in the route, but because this segmented run, it does a really big skip. We haven't gotten to it yet, it's coming up very soon, but there's a really, really big skip, and it skips, like, 2 tokens, I think. I'm pretty sure it skips 2. So... again, you need replacement tokens, you need to get the next fastest tokens. This token was barely too slow, and now it's in. I'm fucking happy, because this shit's sick. It's in hundo. But, yeah. Watch this. Yeah, it was fucking sick. That's actually not a setup I'm familiar with. I found a really consistent setup, but I guess this is probably, like, the fastest one. So the way that this game works is that, in the bonus levels, there's, like, exits. You can just exit through, like, this door, right? it takes you back to the world, to the actual. It takes you back to Skull. But it's a Z crate. It just takes Z crate It's not actually a Z crate because you can jump on it, but it's taking Z crate properties. So you basically trick it into thinking that you've moved away from it when you actually haven't. So it starts to grow again. So you walk up to it and then you spin to quickly back, and then as it can't like shrink and then grow at the same time. It has priority. So as it's shrinking, it can't grow back if you get within its proximity again. So now it's stuck to being shrunk. But then you bash, which forces it to grow again because you're far away enough from it for it to grow again. And then you jump. There's like a small... It's not like a 1 frame or anything, but it's like a relatively short frame window. So you can jump on it when it grows and you get like a huge fucking height boost. And it skips a fucking huge section of the level. My setup is a lot more consistent. You line it up with, like, this red line, and then you just walk off and then bash boost off of it. I'm surprised Sky bash, because I'm pretty sure you can just jump out of this, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you can do that. Yeah, hopefully you make some good progress on that today, Arkham. Do you not 2-frame this? That's why. So, I get to... There is another really, really cool thing. I believe this also... Yeah, so this was also not... So, the way that double bonus... So, these bonus worlds, a lot of them have, like, 2 tokens or more, right? I think nearly all of them do, actually. Yeah, nearly all of them have... Not nearly, well, a good chunk of them have 2 or more tokens in them. So what they do is that you can't enter the second area for its token, though, until you've done the first area. So, because of that, you have to do this token to then get to this token that Sky's about to do right now. So this was obviously not on the run because you couldn't even because you weren't even entering this area in the first place, let alone area 2. But but this is more like a kind of like a remix of like the first version of the level. But you're about to see something fucking sick.
Whoa! Ouch!
That is absolute peak. That is, like, actual absolute peak. Like, it's harder than it looks, too. Again, this is banned and restricted, but even then, we wouldn't come over here anyway. So what Sky is doing, obviously it's a 1-frame damage boost, but there's a little more that goes into it, right? So what Sky did just then... If you just jump from here to here, the game hasn't actually updated your position. And then, if you damage yourself in goo, like, shortly after, so you're not walking, you know, if you were to walk even further ahead, the game would update your position. If you walked over here, the game would update your position. If you walk back, the game would update your position. Because Sky is, like, barely moved at all, the game still has not updated your position. So the game is still trying to place you back. Can you see my... Yeah, I mean, you can see my cursor, just look at the screen right now. You see my cursor right now? This is where the game thinks you currently are, and you're... Or, like, where it's trying to take you back to, rather. And you're all the way over here. And it will use a lot of speed to bring you back here. So... And also, the angle the Sky's using is really quirky, because otherwise it's really hard to make it over. And the second one is really bad as well. Look at this. It's, like, even fucking worse. It's, like, the exact same concept, but it's, like, even more, like, strict. Like, Sky made the first one with a bit of leniency. You make this with a fucking ledge grab. So, like... Yeah. Shit's really, really aids. Because it isn't just, like, 2 1-frames. It's also, like... If Patrick's angle is bad for either of these jumps, he just won't make it over. Your angle has to be quirky for both of these. And for the second jump, you basically have to turn the camera, which adds an extra input to it. Because if you don't move the camera, then the fucking cylinder thing will just block your fucking angle and you can't fucking see properly, you basically have to move the camera here.
Ouch.
It's really, 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 really hard to do both of those first try. Granted, if you fuck them up, you have another chance, but, like, you have multiple chances, but yeah, like, good fucking god. Okay. Also, Sky skipped this earlier because I guess with the token frame, it's faster to do this later. Maybe, I'm not sure, but either way, this is a really good time to be doing this because you barely have to, like, go up in the menu for this. As a matter of fact, you don't actually go up in the menu for this at all. Sky's gonna be setting up a VMS in a bit, I believe. They're gonna be setting up a VMS, and, that VMS is in Sands, so going here now loses no scrolls because you need to go to Sands anyway. Yeah, it's, like, really, really strict on, like, the actual, like, jump spacing. Anyway, again, this is banned and restricted, but these things give you a lot of height. And watch now. That was kind of sick. So, we don't normally do this token in, restricted, but you do it here because it's quite a bit faster with this VMS. So again, Sans, like, this token was, like, only barely fast originally, but then I think it got made faster. I think it's not in restricted anymore. I think it got replaced with, the ring challenge in Shadow in restricted, but here it's always been in the run. So again, as it's, like, beginning to rotate, then you can, yeah. So otherwise you'd have to go all the way over there, slam a button, watch a cutscene, go all the way back, like, it's just slow. The volcanic end level skip made it fast. Nice. Wait, in restricted? Is that what you're talking about? For Sans? Hold on. Why did they do that? Oh, I know why. Okay, so that was slow. Like, that was bad and slow, but it has to be done. It literally has to be done, I think. You'll see why. We are about to get to the craziest skip. You're about to see the craziest skip in the entire game right now. Saves like a minute. Alright, you ready for this?
Whoa! Oh! Ouch! Ouch! Whoa!
Did you fucking see that shit? Did you fucking see that shit? That was actually so absurd. So, basically, normally it'd be fast to slam on one of those platforms that you saw a second ago, like, behind me. But, which would put you on a good cycle, but you need to lose the time here because you need 6 health. And then, yeah. This shit was insta-banned from restricted.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh! Ouch! Ouch! Whoa!
So again, you know those 2 Skull Stadium tokens that, again, weren't originally done? This is why you do them now, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is the reason why. Again, this is why nobody there's a lot of reasons why nobody plays unrestricted, but like, dude, this shit saves so much time, and like, XD boost saves so much time, and then those 2 damage boosts, I mean, those don't save as much, but like, in Skull, but they do still save a decent amount. And then all the token frames, like, they collectively add up to so much time saved throughout the run. It's actually fucking insane. What's up, Raja? How's it going? So, literally, like, that's why nobody wants it. Like, it's insanely reset heavy, and you need to do, like, these insanely reset heavy routes, or you need to lose a ridiculous amount of time. Like, it's just, yeah, that's why we have to ban, like, so much stuff to make the game good to run. So what that skipped, It actually skipped a token that was, like, actually very close, but it's slow to, like, grab the token and then come back to then do the damage boosting. So, it skipped just a token we just slam a few times, and it skipped a token where you do some throwing shenanigans. Individually, those tokens are fast, but, again, like, it's just, yeah. So that skipped 2 tokens, but Sky already made up for the 2 tokens already. The reroutes are, like, such, like, you have to hard dedicate to them as well. It's, like, so aids. Is doing this later fast? I'm surprised by that. I just think it's funny, iPie, how, like, toxic Unrestricted ended up being. But it's all good, because we got restricted. It's great, too, because it's a mod, we can literally just ban whatever we don't like, as poggers. Anything that's, like, toxic, we can literally just get rid of it. Like, the run has, like, nothing toxic in it, except for, like, what's, like, the most toxic thing in the run? Like, literally, like, Krista and Sky's made it easier recently. Like yeah. So now it's, like, easy to get into. Anyway, this is really basic. You just cartwheel the thingies. I think I'll just do a little bit of ×2 for this part, and then there's nothing to see here. And now we're in Stitch. By far the fastest driving level in the game, because it only has the actual driving level, and then 3 pad challenge tokens, which you don't do. They're all incredibly slow in this. Even if you could make it to the 3rd one instantly, even because that one's probably the fastest one, it's still, like, really slow compared to just, yeah, so you just do this as if it's just, like, the only token here. I'm curious to what route Sky's gonna do here, because I feel like my Stitches have always been unoptimal, so I want to see what Sky's doing. Yeah, my gold is, like, a 120 something for Stitch. I think it's, like, a 128 or something. Oh, really? Okay, well, that's cool, then. Oh, yeah, because you can actually, like, warp to that. Yeah, that makes sense. Dude, I wish that Golf SpongeBob token was, like, fast in any of these, like, main categories, like, because, like, that token, I just like it. There's, like, hardly any SpongeBob things in the game. I want to see a hell of a lot more SpongeBob in people. I know a lot of people do a lot of, like, SpongeBob mods, but, like... But then I have to do the Bungie floating block token, which is, like, the most peak thing in human existence when it comes to casually. But in a run, it's, like, so inconsistent. Like, literally, you just have to lose, like, 10-15 seconds off the gold, or you lose your sanity, like, half the time. Like, it's... Anyway, here's, like, not casually, here's RTA, the most interesting level in the game. It's also the longest and hardest. But I highly doubt it's the hardest in this fucking category, Jesus Christ. Jelly and Thunder are probably the hardest in this category. I've seen that jump recently. That's not in my runs, because it got found after the fact. Yeah, we need more SpongeBob. Can you put more SpongeBob in the game for Mashup 2, please? Because I said so. I did see that you guys found out how to, like, collect multiple SpongeBob tokens, like, without getting booted out. It's, like, a little jank, but it seems to work decently. I reckon, like, a lot could be done with that. Hell, even, like, a Super SpongeBob kind of thing, like what you made before, except it's all, like, stitched together. Like, that kind of thing. Monkey Ball challenge mode, but with SpongeBob. That sounds peak. I barely play Monkey Ball, and that still sounds peak. Wow. Dude, the warp is there? What the fuck? Dude. I used to walk, like, all the way over, like, here to grab the warp. I didn't know it was literally, like, fucking there. Bruh. I was losing, like, 2 seconds from that. This is what I mean, dude. I picked up on a lot of tiny things I wasn't even doing. Or, like, got found after I stopped playing. It'd be so annoying to, like, have to remember everything. This music is peak, by the way. I used it in my PVZ video. Ooh, that was an optimal Sky. Sky, I don't think this is a proper segmented run. I don't know how they got hit there. Oh, I know how they got hit there. Well, I don't know if this was the reason, but I usually bash in the center of the move. Sky's bash the edge of the move. And you would think that'd actually make it more lenient to not get hit, but I, like, never get hit here, and Sky got hit, so... Yeah, anyway, Sky fucked up, and this run is bad. Literally... Dude, I walk out further than that, too. Fucking Jesus. You should play again. I don't know. I wouldn't be going for, like, serious attempts, I feel like, if I don't know. Again, like, the game is, it's, like, less chill now that there's, like, more stuff, which, as a speed game, is a good thing. Oh, yeah, here's some cool damage boosting, by the way, in a second. Watch this now. That's peak. That actually does more than it looks as well, because it puts you on a cycle for something later. So Sky's on, like, a very... They're on a good cycle right now for something. You know what's always been a really hard thing to gauge? Is how long you should charge your ball shot for before bowling something. That's always been a difficult thing to gauge. Because, like... And I mean this in Vanilla Movie as well. Primarily Vanilla Movie, where it's, like... Probably Battle as well, but yeah, like... How long... Like, there's gotta be, like, an exact optimal amount of time to charge for, but what is it? Right? I feel like that was probably an unoptimal bowl. And what I mean by that is that, like... There's probably a bowl shot amount that would, like, barely scrape this by, like, a fucking pixel. And then, during that time, you have extra time to walk over to this platform. And then, even if it hasn't spawned yet, you could just, like, jump to the spots, and then you'll land on it. Like, that was definitely not, like, perfectly optimal, but for, like, a realistic attempt, I don't know if that's, like, actually optimal or not. I don't know if Sky should have charged it more or less. Because if they charged it more, then they would take longer to move. But if they charged it less, then they could move sooner, but then there's a lot more, I don't know. Basically, I don't know. It's always been hard to gauge that shit in Vanilla and Mashup. But yeah, like I said, apparently upgraded guitar is not even, like, goated in Restricted anymore, let alone Unrestricted. We don't even have the manlies for it. Anyway, this is why you want to do those bash boosts earlier. Not only is it just faster anyway, it puts you on cycle for this, which in itself saves a couple seconds. Yeah, Restricted is chill until you start adding those, like, weird thunder boosts to save, like, a second, and, like, the one in, like, Mystic, or is it Mystic or Crystal? I forget. I think it's Mystic. Anyway, I don't know why this is being done now, but I'll just roll with it. How the fuck is that faster than just... Oh, okay, I know, okay. So, normally, right, you can press Y to, like, move these blocks around, and you're supposed to, like... You can just press Y, move it in midair, and then freeze it, and then you jump over, right? The damage boost that we did earlier in the level means you never talk to Jeff the Ghost, and because you never talk to him, he doesn't tell you how to do this shit, so it never activates. So the only way to grab this token is to let this fucking thing damage boost you. It is Coyote frame stuff, it's not like a one frame, but yeah, that is fucking AIDS. No wonder you do this, later, but yeah. Dude, that was sick. I have not seen that before. That doesn't even look that hard. That looks like free. Dude, that's sick. I'm learning a lot of little things, a lot of little time saves. Oh, yeah, you have 1 health. There, yeah. Make sure that... Dude, you could just... Since when could you walk through the fucking middle? Dude. Since the beginning of running this game, we always just went to the left. I saw Sky going to the left, I was like, oh, well, obviously Sky's tried going through the middle and it didn't work, so you just go to the left, right? Not left and then right. I mean left, comma, right? Question mark. How the fuck, like, how come this wasn't... Do we just never look into this? Was it just assumed that this wasn't fast? The fuck, bro. And that is so clearly, like, saving a couple seconds as well. That's crazy. That's a lot of time save. I've still never watched JoJo. I want to one day, but... Like, I understand that it is most likely peak as fuck, but I don't know. Like, you know how, like, you want to play a video game, but you just don't? Imagine that, but, like, with anime and manga and stuff. You know you'll enjoy it. You know it won't be a waste of time. You know you'll watch it and be like, oh, yeah, this is good. I'm glad I watched/read this. But you still just don't. Yeah. Anyway... This token's still done the same way. You basically just go under the level and just, like, the token's, like, slightly... Part of it is, like, under the floor, so you can just... Otherwise, the token would not be fast. Anyway, you just walk here, so I'm just gonna skip forward. And now for Krista, the most interesting part of Restricted. I know everything that's gonna happen here, I think, because I'm pretty sure Sky would do, like, that one time save at the beginning, so we will see how that goes. But yeah. Oh yeah, wait, the quiz. There's a quiz here. You can't really do it any faster or slower or whatever, so we're just gonna skip the fucking quiz. That's like the most downtime again in the fucking game. It's just a little fun quiz thing, but yeah. Is Sky gonna do what I think they're gonna do? Or are they not? Are they not doing it? Or is it not here yet? Oh, they're not doing it. Why aren't they doing it? There's, like, this really, really fucked up, You know the swinger that you were just on? You can get on top of it and then do a, like, a really... It's insanely precise, but you can barely do a spin, cartwheel, double jump, and then slam on the very edge of Chris. How the fuck does that not save time? It's, like, like, you skip all of this. You would have, like, already slammed it by now, bro. How does it not save time? It literally saves, like, 4 seconds. How does that not save time? Now I'm really mad. How does it lose time? That makes no fucking sense. Anyway, here's something else. We don't normally do it because it fucking sucks, but it does save, like, 5 seconds or some shit, or, like, 8 or down. It saves a decent amount of time. Basically, the head bobs up and down, and if you slam at the right time, and then hold, like, a quirky angle, you can, like, barely reach this, touch this platform. And then, yeah. You slam trampolines so that, you can cancel your double jump, because Movie's really weird with trampolines. We've started doing it in Vanilla Movie. That's a double hit.
Ouch.
And then, you don't have to hit those slammers, but it makes the consistency go from 0.0001% to, you know, like, actually consistent, so, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I know Sky said that they found, like, a good setup for this. My setup looks very different. My camera's facing the opposite way, and I just, like... I, like, jump, and then, like, as Patrick descends, I, like, start holding right, and then, like, I'm touching the edge, but... They're doing it like this, which looks easier than what I do. And then you do another... No, you don't do a double hit here. I lied. But you do some throwing shenanigans. And then the final double hit. I found out that it is, like, bobbing. So when she bobs up and down, you want to time it right. So, you know that double, not the double hits, but you know, like, that slam the Sky did when they barely landed on the platform? That makes you go fast enough to, because normally I have to wait here. You have to wait, like, a few seconds to, like... because you get there at, like, the exact wrong time, so you just get, like, maximum time loss, basically. You're waiting for it to bob down and then back up. With that, if you go fast enough, and that second hit, then you can do this really as fast as possible. And if you set up the, You know that where Sky went on the trampoline, like, under the level? Obviously, that's unintended. That trampoline's supposed to spawn after killing the slammers, I think. Or it's, like, at some point during the thing. But yeah, that is, like, one of the worst parts of Restricted, but Sky made it easier, apparently. I have yet to test out the new setup, though. But yeah, if you do that fast enough, and you do the second hit fast enough, and you do the whole fucking thing fast enough, you can make this so that you don't have to wait for the bobbing. And then the run is finished. With a 56-53. Again, it wasn't, like, absolutely perfect. Sky could have cartwheeled into a few tokens that they didn't. And just, like, a couple, like, tiny things. Like, 4x is definitely possible, but... yeah. It's pretty, like... I doubt 3x is possible, but even if it is, then 2x is definitely not possible. So yeah, this is, like, the theoretical, like, human limit of the category. And what I would imagine is going to happen in future is that after some more time saves get found, somebody, and by somebody I mean Sky, is probably going to go for 59 in this category eventually, like RTA. But yeah, this category is way cooler looking than Restricted, because it does stuff that people are never going to do in Unrestricted. So, while Unrestricted is king for RTA, this is king for, like, tassing and demonstrations and stuff, or if you just really want to do something that's, like, as hard as possible. I was aware of, like, Cole's world records in battle when he had, like, the world records, you know, like 112, I think was, like, the first one I was aware of. I even found out when Fuff beat, the Reki, and then Shift beat it. And then, like, when that happened, that's when I actually was like, okay, now that, like, there's actual competition, like, there's actually, like, people consistently playing the game. And then I found out there's a community, and I'm like, alright, now I'm gonna learn the games. Now that I know there's a community. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that was the run. Very, very interesting. There was even a lot of little things that do apply to Restricted. Because they either didn't exist when I played, or I just wasn't aware of them, or they're too hard or whatever. But yeah, like this game is, like, really cool for, like, I mean, it's really cool casually. I want to play it again casually in, like, sometime next year probably, but whether that's live or not, I don't know. But yeah, really, really interesting. So, like, it's kind of crazy that, like, the category, you know, this game, this hack has existed for, well, pretty much, let's say, like, March 1st, right? It's existed for, like, 6.5 months. And so, like, half a year, right? It's existed for half a year. And it's already, like, a really, like, hard category to, like, play close to the sub, and even all the token frames on their own just make it so, so awful. So yeah, already a really hard game with, like, a really, really high skill ceiling, for Unrestricted. But Restricted is, like, way more beginner-friendly, and I highly recommend that one to people who have any interest in this. You won't be doing, like, all the super fancy schmancy stuff, but, it's quite chill. Krista, and you still get, like, Deep, Dark, and Krista, which are hard in RTA, even in Unrestricted, because I think it's identical in Restricted, like Deep, Dark is, and Krista. I think they're identical to Unrestricted, but yeah.